My bad. I was watching. I can't get enough watching Paulie talk shit about Connor. But basically, Jorge Linares is the WBC Diamond and WBA champion, the only WBA champion at 135 pounds. It's hard to distinguish. It's hard to distinguish what does his championship mean, because he's the WBC champion, but he's the Diamond champion. But when you're the Diamond champion, according to the WBC rules, you can't defend that title unless the WBC says you defend that title. But if Mikey Garcia was to fight back at 135, where he's the Diamond champion at 140, he has to fight Jorge Linares according to the WBC. Very confusing situation, but a fight that I'm looking forward to because I've been a fan of this guy. He's not a kid anymore, just looks young. A fan of this guy for quite some time now. You know, cool hand Luke Campbell, 17-1. He's going to be fighting in L.A., Inglewood, California, September the 23rd, 2017 against Jorge Linares. And it is listed as the WBA title only being on the line, even though Luke Campbell is ranked very high. If not, he's #1 by the WBC. And if I'm correct, Ray Beltran is #2 behind him, with Mikey Garcia being the guy who's supposed to be the champion. So, whatever the case may be, I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe. Now, here's the thing about Jorge Linares. He has gotten better over the years. His last loss was a knockout loss, and before that, he got battered and beat to submission, bloody against Antonio DeMarco. You may know Antonio DeMarco, who last significant fighter he lost to was Omar Figueroa at 154. Remember, Antonio DeMarco also was wasn't he Edwin Valero's last fight in Edwin Valero's classic fight with him? He fought Adrian Broner. Basically, he's not a very tough dude. And back in 2011, he beat Jorge Linares, and Jorge Linares then was a big prospect. But before that, Jorge Linares was also stopped against another somewhat unknown name. Even though that guy was undefeated at the time. So, Jorge Linares has since won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight fights. And truth be told, the only big names, that you can really count is Nohito Arakawa. You remember him? He fought Omar Figueroa. You can count him, not a big name, Kevin Mitchell. Like people, it was Kevin Mitchell, if you know what's his standing over there in the UK. And then these 2 fights with Anthony Crolla. The first fight, he didn't look so good. Second fight, he outschooled Anthony Crolla. But for those who, once again, no disrespect to Anthony Crolla, Anthony Crolla is a UK domestic level fighter. And he fought him twice. So now he's fighting Luke Campbell, who is a step up in competition and is good. He hasn't been stopped before, even though I did kind of want him to avenge that loss against Yvonne Mendy. He didn't go that route, but now, he's getting the title shot to fighting guys like Gary Sykes, Argus Mendez, Derry Matthews. Derry Matthews is done, might as well say, but he's still fighting, ain't he? Darlys Perez. And these fighters are no-name fighters, but nothing where you can say, okay, well, Luke Campbell, Didn't have to fight Yvonne Mendy again. You see what I'm saying? So this is a fight that the UK fans are going to support, and then of course, for the Hispanics, they're going to support Jorge Linares, and also it's going to be a crossroads for both of these fighters, because if Luke Campbell loses, he's going to go to be another one of those UK fighters that went, to world level, went for a title shot, and now he's going to be back at domestic level again. Jorge Linares, if he loses, then, where does he really, really, really go? Because even though he's getting more popular off of wins that are not that, good or eye-catching, he is still, not as marketable, I guess. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. And also, hey, listen, Luke Campbell's having 3 fights this year, and Jorge Linares has been, active, finally, because he had, he only fought once in 2016, and then the last time he fought was a year before that, so it's good to see him, keeping active. But anyway, I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. This fight is going to be on HBO. I believe they said it's going to be on HBO. I'm pretty sure. And I'm sure it's obviously going to be on Sky Sports. T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live.